Our evening begins in the grand sitting room of Blackwood Manor. The rain pounds against the windows. The body of Charles Blackwood, Henry's brother, lies motionless on the floor, a glass of wine spilled nearby.
No one leaves this room. Charles Blackwood is dead, and until I find out why, you're all suspects.
Detective, this is madness. My brother collapsed suddenly. Surely it was an accident.
I checked for a pulse. He was gone before I got to him, but I can't say for certain what caused it.
A heart attack, perhaps? He did have a weak constitution.
But he was fine just minutes before, laughing, drinking his wine.
That wine glass, the position of his body, and the fact that none of you seem particularly shocked. Something tells me Charles didn't die of natural causes.
What exactly are you implying, Detective?
Poison, Mr. Blackwood, yes. And someone in this room is responsible. There's a faint smell of almonds.
Cyanide. But that would mean it had to be added at the last moment.
A doctor would have access to something like that.
Now wait just a moment. Anyone could have obtained poison.
And why were you meeting with Charles yesterday, Doctor? I know he was looking into financial matters. Something about misappropriated funds.
Now that's a motive, Dr. Warren. Did Charles discover something damning?
He confronted me about discrepancies in my books, but I swear I didn't kill him.
I overheard Mr. Charles arguing with someone else last night. Not just Dr. Warren.
And who was he arguing with, Lillian?
Mrs. Blackwood.
Me. That's absurd.
What were you arguing about, Mrs. Blackwood?
If you must know, Charles suspected Henry of hiding assets. He wanted to take control of the estate. I told him he was wrong.
And yet, you never told me about this conversation.
Because you're terrible with secrets, Henry.
That makes 3 people with a financial motive. I'm curious, Lillian. You've been in this household for years. What do you think happened?
I don't know. But I did see someone standing near the drinks table just before Mr. Charles collapsed.
Who?
Dr. Warren.
I was reaching for my own glass. This is outrageous.
But what if Charles wasn't the intended victim? What if the poison was meant for someone else?
That's preposterous.
A fascinating theory, but it doesn't change the fact that Charles is dead, and someone ensured that happened.
Only Charles's drink had poison, which means whoever delivered it had to be deliberate.
4 suspects, all with motive, but only one had the opportunity.
And who would that be, Detective?
Detective Graves has his suspicions, but the case is not closed. Somewhere in this very room, a killer remains free. The truth lies within the clues, but only a sharp mind can uncover it. Review the evidence, consider the motives, and make your choice. You have 1 minute. Your assistance is needed.
The person closest to his glass, the person who knew what to use and how quickly it would act, Dr. Felix Warren.
No,
Charles was going to expose your fraud, wasn't he? So you silenced him before he could. The poison was in your pocket the whole time.
You can't prove that.
Actually, we can. This was found in your coat pocket.
I was framed.
But I saw you near the drinks, Doctor.
Lillian, fetch the police. We have our murderer.
And so, the mystery at Blackwood Manor came to a close. Dr. Felix Warren, desperate to cover his financial misdeeds, had poisoned Charles Blackwood. Justice had been served, but in the world of crime and deception, one mystery solved only leads to another, waiting in the shadows. Will you be ready for the next case? Join us next time.